Okay, hi guys, and welcome to episode 2 of Riff of the Week. This guy here, he's called Angus Young, and he's the guitarist in a really famous rock band, AC/DC. And this song, Back in Black, is one of their most famous songs, certainly with one of the coolest riffs of all time. And I'm going to show you how to play it in various different levels. So if you're a complete beginner, you can still play this song. We'll start with that, and then I'll build it up the levels of difficulty until we're playing the full thing if you're capable of that. But like I say, if you're new to the guitar, you can play along with it just by using open strings. Like this, we start with the low E once, then 3 Ds, and then 3 As. Now, what's important is that we stop the strings afterwards, because one of the vital things about this riff is there's bits of silence in the gaps. So it doesn't go E, it goes E. See how I stopped it? E. You practice that with me. 3, 4, E. It's a really short note. 2, 3, 4, E. And notice that I'm stopping it in a silent way. I'm not slapping the guitar. It's a gentle and silent stop. So that's critical to this. Let's go through it again. So slowly, it's E, 3 Ds, and then 3 As. You can do it with walking fingers, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. E, sh, D, 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 sh, A. 2, 3, 4. Or you can do the same thing with a plectrum if you've got one. Hold it quite near to its end. 1, 2, 3, 4. E, sh, D, 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 sh, A. Let's go round again, going E, sh, D, 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 and A. And that's how to play it on easy level. Right, then Back in Black medium level involves 2 things. We're going to have to introduce some left hand now. And we're also going to have to play 2 strings at a time instead of 1. So the first thing to practice, I'd say, is just playing 2 strings together without hitting a third one. And what we're going to do is the notes in the same order, E, D, 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 A. But each time we're going to hit the string underneath as well. So when we play the E string, we're actually going to hit both of those notes together. You can do it with the plectrum. You might want to try doing it with your finger and thumb, if you find that easier, or you might want to brush your thumb across both. To be honest, the best sound is with the plectrum, because it's kind of more percussive and more rocky. So that's the first thing to practice, is just pause the video and practice playing the 2 strings at a time and see if you can develop that control. Now we also need to introduce some left hand in. The finger that we put on is not going to go on both of the strings. It's just going to go here like this. So when I'm playing the E string's still open, and I've got my finger on the A string underneath it. So my first, these are called power chords. First power chord, called an E power chord. You play those 2 notes together. Remember to still stop the strings afterwards. And when we change to the 3 Ds, the finger has to move down. Notice again, it's not on the D string, it's on the one below the D string. Okay, so we're playing the open D and fret 2 on the G together. And that gives us what we call a D power chord. And then finally, for the A one, same thing, we're playing an open A string and fret 2 on the D together. And that gives us the A power chord. So when we put all that together, you have to be really careful to coordinate both your hands. It might need a bit of practice if you're new to all this. We're going to play E, change, D, 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 change, A. Playing both strings together, go. Let's do it round 2 more times. 2, 3, 4. And that is how to play Back in Black on medium level. So the hard level of Back in Black is playing full chords. So in order to do this, you need to know how to play an E chord, you need to know how to play a D chord, and you need to know how to play an A chord. And then we're going to strum all 6 strings on the E. And then when we do the D, you need to be a bit more precise and just play 4 strings. And when you do the A, you play 5 strings. It's the same rhythm that we've been doing all along. 2, 3, 4. D and D, D, D and A, A, A. 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 2, 3. Last time. Okay, so you might have noticed that that is only half the riff, and there's some other fiddly bits to put in, which I'm going to call expert level. So if you fancy having a go at putting those twiddly bits in, let's carry on and we'll do that next. So the first twiddly bit in Back in Black is these notes. So if you know your high alphabet, you need to play G, E, and then D, B. If you're working in numbers, it's 3, O, 3, O on the high E and then the B string. And then, of course, you'll notice that it is pretty fast. So you can either do it where you articulate every note with your plectrum, or your thumb, or your fingers. Or you can do this thing called pull-offs, where you get 2 notes per pluck just by pulling your finger off to the side. It's definitely easier to articulate them all. But if you want to challenge, you could try the pull-off thing. So after we've done G, E, D, B, we're then going to play an A note. Notice how I'm using 2 fingers there on my A. That gives me the power to then do this. So I'm pulling the note. You can also push it up and you get the same effect. You're basically just stretching the string and then releasing it back. And then there's another open string after that. So it's G, E, D, B, A, bend up, release and open. And as soon as you've done that, you have to be back to the E chord again. Now that is definitely expert skill, especially when you hear how fast it is. So I certainly recommend do it very slowly first and then build up. Now the second twiddly bit is on the low note, starts with a low B, which is fret 2 on the A string, and then the next note after that is fret 4 on the E. So you're doing 2 on the A, 4 on the E. 2, 4, and then 2, 5, 2, 6, 2, 7. So at full speed. If you want to try it slowly with me, we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. If you want to do a little cheat at the end, instead of going 2, 7, you'll hear they're both the same pitch. You could just do this note twice. So, and they're the twiddly bits for Back in Black. Now you can try putting the whole thing together first slowly and then at full speed. Good luck, whatever level you're on.